What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Opendoor. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is up a very impressive 8.59%, 674 the low, 736 the high, and 18.1 million shares being traded. 127 is the average. No real data today, so we do have Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index coming out at 10:30, but most likely that won't really impact the market all that much. What is really moving the market is now the second Fed speaker. So we did have Williams on Friday signaling a potential December cut. Now early this morning you had Waller say pretty much the same thing. So as a byproduct of that, this did go up from 71 to now 78.9% of a likelihood for a 25 basis point cut. This is exactly what the market does truly want and it needs, in my opinion. So that's why the market is very hyped up. Plus a lot of positive momentum from Friday rolled over into today. Kind of on a comical note, one reason why Opendoor also could be moving higher is because of Jim Cramer. So I want to play this 20-second clip. This will answer all of your questions and more on why Opendoor is truly moving higher.
Opendoor Technologies.
Well, you know what, John? Here's the problem. This stock is high given the fact that the company makes no money. I'm not a believer until it makes money. That's just how I am. I love your enthusiasm, but it's not making money. I need to go.
So there you have it. Jim Cramer being bearish on any stock is the most bullish sign that you could ever have. So kind of comical, but at the same time being somewhat serious. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that, there really hasn't been anything official coming out from Opendoor. So no press releases, no SEC filings. They did put this one out after hours on Friday, but I think everyone already generally knew that. So I've already covered this in a previous video, so I'm not going to dive deep into this. Nothing really coming out from Kaz over the weekend, nor anything really from Eric. I see a lot of people calling Eric out for, I guess, him promoting now the next thing, calling it his first 1,000 bagger in his portfolio. So it's kind of comical how he is. I don't really have much respect for him, as I've openly told you, but nonetheless, at least he did, I think, bring a lot of awareness initially to Opendoor. And plus got the CEO kind of axed a little bit, which did help. But nonetheless, aside from that, shorts are increasing 3.05 million shares. So this is where you could see a little bit more of a pinch. Shorts do not believe that Opendoor and the broader market should be green. This same type of scenario played out on Friday. So shorts are putting themselves in a kind of sticky scenario. So if, let's say, the market does really move higher because of the key data coming out on Tuesday, then shorts, you could see a little bit of a squeeze, in my opinion. But 23.07% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 138 million shares overall being shorted. You do see some signs of manipulation because cost to borrow minimum is negative. So that does mean that there is a broker out there, or potentially brokers, that's paying people to short the stock. It's nothing significant because this is an annual rate and it's only negative 0.06. So again, nothing significant, but still, I think it's kind of the meaning behind it. Looking at the options, only factoring in the market's only been open about 45 minutes or so, 2.07 million in calls, 465,000 in puts. So a lot of money is actually getting into Opendoor through options. 48% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be above 8 by the end of this Friday. And keep in mind, Thursday, Friday, we'll probably see very low volume. Thursday, the market does close early as well. And then the bears are anticipating for it to break down sub 6. These are some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So a lot of big transactions today. Big one was done first thing, 4.25 million. And then these are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool. Dark pool is often enough used by shorts and hedge funds. And I always like to analyze what shorts do and whatever else. And even though shorts are increasing quite a lot, we are seeing rounded numbers. So 500,000. So usually that does happen when it's hedge funds are involved. So in my opinion, hedge funds are buying Opendoor up like crazy. We haven't had any full disclosure, so any institution buying today or technically, I guess, in general in Q4, they will be disclosing it in their upcoming 13Fs in probably February, late January, early February. So unfortunately, we won't really be able to find out who these transactions are, but clearly hedge funds are buying. Aside from that, with it right now at 730, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 657 and then 790 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So kind of just stay tuned for all of that. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart itself, still it's kind of in no man's land. So wedge bound between that 10 and also that 100-day moving average. But with tomorrow's data, it is either going to really push it lower to that 100 or really break it above both that 10 and 50-day moving average. So tomorrow is going to be a massive deal for the broader market. So we'll have to wait and see how that does all play out. Aside from that, there really hasn't been anything coming out associated to Opendoor, aside from just articles talking about Jim Cramer, which again is inversely very, very bullish. Maybe that is why also Opendoor is getting a lot of hedge fund transactions today. But aside from that, there hasn't been any new analyst ratings on a side note. So maybe if things really do start to heat up, we could see possibly some new ratings. We'll just have to kind of sit tight and wait. I think, as I've mentioned in the past, Opendoor sometimes doesn't logically make sense, some of the price action, but the best thing that you can do is just dollar cost average. I know a lot of people like to just say that, but it is honestly the truth. Dollar cost averaging is usually a lot more advantageous. And as well, during times of fear, if you do truly believe in any stock, best thing as well, what you could do is just look at a long call. So for instance, if you assume $9 is on the table by, let's say, January, that is going to work out to be almost like a 31% increase in the common stock. But if you do a long call, that works out to be about 82.05%. So very advantageous to look at calls, but you guys do your own due diligence and all the other fun jazz. One final thing I do want to share with you though is because of Black Friday, I do have a promotion on my stacked account. So if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers, then pop over here. I have multiple different tiers, all having Black Friday promotions. So if you're just wanting swing trades or Black Friday promotions, so this is options, day trades, everything, take a look at this. Again, only up until for the next couple of trading days or until 28th or so. So link to this is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.